Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the April 30th edition of my SmackDown post show. I'm Denise Salcedo. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. We have so much to get into here today. We all knew that today's SmackDown was going to be something to talk about, something to get excited about, and I gotta say, I think that SmackDown, especially the main event, definitely delivered and is, again, going to give us lots to talk about. Now, before we get started, I do want to welcome everyone to the show here today. For those of you here who are regulars to the live stream and you guys are looking at this video and you're thinking, Denise, what on earth happened to all your things? Everything is gone. There is no mask. There are no posters. There are no action figures, no Taylor Swift CDs. None of that. Gone. Personal note, I am moving out. No, I was not robbed, everybody. I am moving out for the first time in my life. And so it's very, very hectic. I've been moving all day. So by the time SmackDown started, I was super tired and kind of just really ready to watch a good show because I was so tired that everything sort of got graded differently here today. So they had to work a little harder to keep and earn my attention as a viewer, and I think they did just that again, especially with that main event. So guys, here we go. We have our first super chat of the evening. BTW, for those of you who are new to the show, this is a very interactive stream, so please feel free to send in your thoughts on what you guys think as we go through the show chronologically and just your overall thoughts, and I'll pick some random ones out and I'll read them. If you send in super chat like Brandon Charles Powell did, then I will go ahead and read it. Brandon says, YouTube dudes and dudettes assemble. You want to know what's funny about that? So I've been doing the whole YouTube dudes now since Brian Alvarez has the Twitch homies, and I was going to say dudes and dudettes, but I wasn't really sure if dudettes was a word. So thank you to Brandon for just confirming this. Dudettes is a word. So dudes, dudettes, whatever you want to call yourself. I appreciate you guys coming in here. All right, guys. So we are getting so many different comments, and obviously right now everybody is talking about that ending to SmackDown. But overall, I kind of want to get an idea for how you guys felt about the show. For those of you who are here in the chat, send in your comments. Let me know how you felt about the show as a whole. And if you want, go ahead and start sending in your main events comments, but we will get to that again by the time we get there till the end. And yeah, we have things to talk about here, guys. So let's kind of kick things off with this. So this one is from Marcus Brown, who says, Denise, when you think about Roman's new theme, he said months ago he was getting a new one. What did you think of the debut? Why? Oh, because it wasn't debuted at WrestleMania 37. All right, so as you all saw here today, Roman Reigns finally got a brand new theme song, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, because I feel like a lot of times people wait to find out what the general consensus is, what people think, so you can kind of mold your opinion to that. But instantaneously, the second I heard Roman Reigns' song, at first I thought to myself, oh my God, it's finally happening. It's new. It's here. The new theme song we have all been waiting for. And for a second, it took me a second to really accept the fact and register the fact that we were getting this new theme song for Roman Reigns. But once I actually realized it was his new theme song, I gotta say, I loved it. I thought that it was totally opposite, though, of what I was expecting. I don't know what kind of rhythm or what kind of sound I was expecting, but it was definitely not this. I was not expecting for this, I only heard, obviously, I've only heard it the one time after it playing, but I feel like there was some this, I don't know if it was like a chorus or the intro was very, very church-like, very church-like. And that was one of the things that I got from it, was that it didn't feel like something that necessarily goes with a tribal chief or the head of the table, but instead, and I know a lot of people were saying this on Twitter, was that it sounds very godlike. And that was the first thing that I thought of, was, yeah, this has a very godlike sound, but I liked it. I thought it set a different mood, actually, something that I don't think any of us are planning on hearing. And here's what I like about it. So, okay, here's what I don't like about it, and here's what I like about it. So, what I don't like about it is that it doesn't have that like instantaneous, grab your attention type of theme song. You know how when Stone Cold comes out and the glass shatters and you're like, you know it's Stone Cold and it has that moment, or like even The Rock, like the second his music hits, you know it's The Rock. And there's so many other classic theme songs at the second, like even Triple H's, theme song, like the ones you hear like the dun, you know it's him, right? You know he's coming out. So that's the one thing that I don't think the Roman Reigns song has. It doesn't have like that power right at the start, but it does have something different. And the thing that I like about it, again, aside from it being this godlike type of song, is that it sort of goes with his new attitude in the terms of he thinks he's like mightier than everybody. Obviously, he's not Bobby Lashley, but he thinks he's above everybody. He thinks he's at he's in a different level to everybody else. So it kind of fits his personality and his character. But here's the thing, it's not so niche. Like the song isn't so niche to where you feel like it only goes along with the tribal chief character. Like if at any point he's going to try to like mix things up, I do think that this song gives him a little bit of flexibility to explore his heel role. So I do like, those are the things I do and do not like from this theme song. But we have a couple of we have another super chat that I'm going to read right now. And this one is from Khaled Adam, who says, thoughts on WWE giving up Peyton Royce? So we talked about this when the releases actually happened. And obviously, I'm a fan of Peyton Royce. I don't necessarily think we got the opportunity to really get to see what she got to do, especially as a singles competitor. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And so here's the thing, and I was going to talk about this once we got to the women's match, but I might as well mention now since we got a super chat. During the women's match today, I literally went on WWE.com, went on the Superstars page, clicked on SmackDown, and I said, who the hell is there? Who else for the women? Who else is there? Because it kind of feels like we're just seeing the same thing over and over and over again with the SmackDown women's division. And really, the only other people that we're not seeing, Carmella, the Riot Squad. And I'm just thinking right now, I really do think we need more women there to play around with, because having to see the same match over and over, it does get a little dragging there. But we're going a little off topic, but I still appreciate the super chat. And we had another super chat. This one's from Matthew Makovsky. Thank you so much to Matthew. He says, in regards to Roman Reigns' theme song, acknowledge him as a tribal god. He is the head of the table. He is the top dog. Just give me Pete Dunne versus Daniel Bryan. By God, that would hump. Okay, so I tweeted this immediately after the ending of Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. I don't think any of us were expecting Daniel Bryan to win in this, but right away, the first thing that I thought of was, do whatever it is you need to do. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what you practice. Whatever it is that you do, pray, do some witchcraft, I don't know, but manifest, please manifest that Daniel Bryan shows up on NXT, because there are so many dream matches that I need to see, that you need to see, that we all want to see. Oh man, guys, I'm hyped right now. Thank you so much to Matthew for sending in this super chat. Let's see what else we got here. We got so many comments here in regards to all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just start picking out some random comments in regards to Roman Reigns' theme music. Johnny Iglesias says, Roman Reigns got boss fight music. I've been seeing this a lot. A lot of people saying this exact same thing. Alyssa Stansberry says, can't get into Jay. Think Seth Rollins got stale. Needs gimmick change, new music, whole package needs change. Yeah, especially with that, he kind of has like his theme song has like a similar feel to same thing. Yeah, I get you. Well, his old theme song, actually. Never mind. I'm messing up here. All right, Marcus Brown says, Denise, do you think Daniel Bryan is going to Raw? They need more good wrestlers on the show. Also, Daniel Bryan can win the WWE Championship on Raw with maybe a future championship with Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Damian Priest. So, look. If you were to ask me, does Raw need Daniel Bryan? The question is yes, they do need Daniel Bryan. Now, if you were to ask me, Denise, do you want to see Daniel Bryan on Raw or on NXT? The answer is NXT, okay? Because right now, Raw still needs a lot of help. They need to go in a different direction because right now what they're doing is not working. It's not working. Now, if they were to start developing a track record of Raw actually feeling like we're not watching the same thing over and over again, then I would say, you know what? Raw maybe doesn't have the best track record right now, but they're turning the table. So yeah, send Daniel Bryan over there. But right now, I'll just be real with you. I want to see Daniel Bryan on NXT, even if he's not there, each and every single week. If he's a special attraction, I will take that. So thank you so much to Marcus Brown for sending in this comment as well. But we have a lot of different things here. John Singer says, when you hear his other themes, all you hear is a Shield. It's a good change. Yeah, Roman Reigns needed the music change. He definitely needed, because obviously it was definitely the Shield. So that's where your brain automatically goes. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and see a couple more comments here as we go through. All right, guys. So send in your comments. I kind of lost track of what you guys were thinking about since we touched on a bunch of different subjects. But as we go through, I'll kind of circle back. If I missed a great comment, you guys can send it in and I will try to read it again. But let's kick things off with the top of the show and we'll kind of just go through there. So the opening segment is this Bianca Belair promo. And I just got to say, guys, we need to spice things up with Bianca Belair because she won the championship. She won the title. Everyone was very excited about it. But now it's like, all right, cool. We know Bayley is next, but I do think they need to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't think I'm necessarily as excited for it just yet. I feel like given the type of competitor that Bayley is and what a win for Bianca Belair over Bayley would actually mean, I do think that it needs to feel like a hotter story because right now it kind of just feels like, all right, cool, she won the title. She's obviously going to compete against Bayley, but what else? There really isn't anything else there. Colette Adam actually says that he hopes Bayley wins the bout. Oh no. I mean, I don't think as much as I like Bayley, I do not think she's going to win the bout right now. Bianca needs to have a proper run, and that is definitely what I want. But she comes out and, she's talking about, her winning the bout and all of that. But then out of nowhere, the Dirty Dogs interrupt her. And I wasn't expecting this. And I thought, oh no, this feels like something that would happen on Raw. Where are we going with this? But then the Street Profits come out and interrupt them. And then Bayley interrupts them. And then lo and behold, you can figure out which direction they're going with here. But before we actually get to the match, we did have a moment where Bayley goes into the ring and she literally snatches the microphone away from Bianca Belair and she just starts laughing and laughing. And I'm thinking, Bianca, do not just stand there. Don't just stand there. Please do something. And then she does. She punches her in the face. And I thought, thank God, because right now they've kind of been making Bianca look like they haven't been keeping her status as champion. They need to make her, feel more grand. Like she had that grand moment and we know how great she is in the ring, but let's keep it going. Let's keep it strong. And so then obviously Bayley takes down Bianca right after this because she's pissed. And then the Street Profits and the Dirty Dogs, they go at it. Bianca and Bayley go at it. And this becomes a 6-person tag. The match itself, I thought was pretty fun. I wasn't necessarily crazy about the way that they actually had it come together, but I'm actually glad they gave it a little bit of a story versus just jumping right into it. So I did like all of that. We saw a nice flip to the outside of the ring from Montez Ford. That was really good. But my favorite moment of this match was actually when Bianca Belair lifted Dolph Ziggler and she was going to go for the kiss of death, and I kind of was hoping that she did do it. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to see it. I really did. But Bayley ended up breaking that up. But I think that would have been so awesome. And it would have been such a great moment for everybody to be like, oh, shoot. We all knew Bianca Belair was powerful as hell. But look at what she just did to Dolph Ziggler. So I would have liked it if that actually came to fruition, but it didn't. In the end, Montez Ford hit the frog splash and ended up getting the win. I didn't mind this match whatsoever, but there are a little bit of tweaks that I think that they can do for her during this. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. We got it coming from Tim Z, who says Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan would be an interesting feud, though. Dude, I just want to see Liv Morgan. You know, when she was on Raw and she was doing those vignettes in the bathtub before coming out as Lana's lesbian lover, prior to that, when she was getting this new character revamp, I actually thought we were going somewhere with her, and obviously everybody thought so too, but kind of thinking back to what we saw her do in those vignettes, I'm hungry to see her do something like that. I'm hungry to see what she can do as a singles competitor. To be honest, like, even though we definitely need women's tag teams, definitely need them, but I almost just want to see her like actually be taken seriously and be a singles competitor. To be honest, they gave me a little tease and then they took it away. So now I do, hopefully at some point we get something like that. John Rosado says Bianca is going to get that much better after a feud with pros like Bayley. Looking forward to it. Hell yeah, Bianca, I mean, she's already athletic. She's already got all of that down. But when she's in there with people that can also go, they definitely, match up really well. Especially like her match with Sasha Banks, I loved. So I know that she can have really great matches. And let's see what else we have here. We're coming from Patrick Etheridge, who says, Bianca doesn't look in any danger to lose her title. Where is the suspense? Bayley should be made to look stronger going into Backlash. Yes. This has been the key issue here all around. They need to build more challengers, and we get it. Bayley already has this great reputation, so that's not an issue. That's like already embedded into Bayley, so we already take the story seriously. But I do think that it needs to feel like they need to liven this up. They really, really do. I think today was a good step. You know, doing the 6-person tag was a good step, but they need to liven this up because even the way that the match was announced, there really wasn't much to it. It was very simple. Bayley did a promo. She says, okay, no, she did a backstage interview and she says she wants to challenge Bianca. And then afterwards, like the next week after, we find out that we find out via social media that this match is actually happening. So I do feel like just the whole story in general could have started off a lot hotter. It really could have. And that's one of the things that I've been talking about nonstop. And it kind of feels like that's what we've been talking about with Bianca, because that was the same issue with the Sasha Banks feud. And now we're going into this feud with Bayley, and it's kind of the exact same thing. All right. So that's where we're at in terms of all of this. So let's move on from this, because I swear we can talk about this forever. Actually, before I get to that, I'll read one more comment in regards to the subject. And this one is from Joseph Kriashella. Says, what they need is less pay-per-views. Bianca isn't dropping the title a month after she won it. That's why there is no suspense. Look, all they need to, they can have the pay-per-views. The pay-per-views to me is fine. Like, they can do the pay-per-views, right? But at least, I don't know, at least fool us a little bit. Try to fool us a little bit. You know, I could suspend my disbelief. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that if the story is there and the story is good. I could suspend my disbelief and actually think that maybe there's a chance that somebody could take the belt off the champion. So I would say probably put a little bit of effort in terms of actually just making it, you know, worthwhile. All right, we have coming from Amanda Rodriguez. It says the Bianca Ziggler spot was absolutely lit. Yes, it was. I want more of that. And I know some people are like weird about like women and men and all of that. I get it, the intergender stuff. I get it, okay? But this was awesome. It was my favorite part of the match, and I want to see more. I'm on the side where if it's done right, it'll be enjoyable and I can get behind it. So anyways, thank you so much to Amanda for also sending in this comment here. And all right, guys. So as we continue on, feel free to continue sending in your comments here. And Mono Python asks, where's all the stuff on your wall? You missed the intro. In the introduction, I basically let everybody know that it's all gone because I'm moving. I haven't moved just yet. This is still my old room, but I'm packing up, so all that stuff is gone. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on. So announcement next week, we are having a SmackDown Throwback Edition. And I gotta say, this is a very, very interesting announcement. They didn't really give away much. They kind of just said it's a Throwback Edition. Take that for what you will. But immediately, the second that was announced, everybody was just like, talking about like the stages and what stage are we going to get. And obviously the one that everybody was like, I really hope we see this. And it is the fist, the entrance with the fist on it. I got to say, I'm going to be cool if they do the fist entrance or if they do the oval entrance, the oval stage entrance. I really like that one too. So whichever one that they do decide to do, I am here for. But to me, this is interesting that they're doing this because I didn't expect them to do this, and I'm wondering like why they decided to do this. I'm more interested in the why. Like, why are we getting this throwback episode? I don't know what to expect. I mean, besides from maybe them doing an entrance, are we going to be seeing people that we haven't seen? What's going to happen there? I don't know if you guys have any predictions. Send them in because, to be honest, I feel like because they announced so little, that really anything can happen here. So I don't really know. And yeah, TR points out the why. Ratings, exactly. The nostalgia, guys. The nostalgia. Stephen Butler says the fist is in the WWE warehouse. They need to bring it back. And Kieran says, I'd love for The Rock to turn up next week. I don't think it's going to happen. I would be shocked. I would probably drop on the floor. Kieran says, I feel like it's a perfect opportunity for him to plant the seed for him versus Roman. I don't know. I don't think so. It sounds too good to be true. That's just where I'm at with all of that. And we have more people bringing back for the fist again, bringing back the fist and all of that. So I do like all of that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on here. But I think people are pretty much excited. Josh643 says, all WWE has is nostalgia and wasting their current roster. Look, I don't mind the nostalgia. I really don't. I like these throwback type of stuff. Obviously, it'd be different if the current roster were getting a little bit, if things were better for the current roster, people wouldn't probably be as upset when you do get the nostalgia stuff. Okay. And yeah, here we go. We have a super chat from Brandon Rosen who says, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up, Denise. This feels like Legends Night on Raw to me. I don't know how to say this. Like, I don't mind Legends Night when it's done right. When it's done right, when there's people and they do it in an exciting way, when they do people that we haven't seen in a very long time, or maybe not even a long time, like a little while. The last Legends Night was obviously not good, but I don't mind seeing people that, I was a fan of. And yeah, Jake Larson points out, save The Rock for the fans. All right. And, let's go ahead and move on now. All righty. So we have, after this, we had a quick backstage interview with Daniel Bryan, and says that he says that if he were to win today's match, that he would give his first title defense to Cesaro if he were to win. Right after this, we had a promo from Seth Rollins, and he just starts it off by literally laughing at Daniel Bryan for thinking that he's going to win and mocking him. I love that. I was such a fan of that because, to be honest, as much as I love Daniel Bryan, we all knew he wasn't going to win tonight. And I kind of had the exact same reaction as Seth Rollins did when Daniel Bryan said, if I win, I am going to have Cesaro challenge for the title. He is going to be my first challenger. So I felt exactly the exact same way. All right. And after this, guys, so we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I might as well bring it up again. And this was the Nia and Shayna match versus Natty and Tamina. So Tamina kicked this match off with a lot of aggression. And I said this last week, I will say it again. Kudos to Tamina because she really has been revamping herself. She has been, she looks great. She looks great, physically speaking. She has a lot more confidence. It's something that I've noticed about her. So good for her and all of that. But they really do need to switch it up. We've been seeing way too much of Nia and Shayna and Natty and Tamina in pretty much similar matches. Obviously they tweak things every couple of weeks, but for the most part, it's been the exact same thing. And I don't necessarily feel that the story is hot enough to the point where people want to continue seeing this or following this up every single week. This is where I went back, and earlier I mentioned that I went on the website and I was like, dude, like who else is there? Who am I forgetting? And I just came to realize like the women that aren't being shown, like Carmella and the Riot Squad, to name a few. But other than that, there isn't that many options on the SmackDown women's roster. I personally feel they need to bring more women, and whether, from NXT, obviously, bring them in. They got to do something because I don't want to see the same things each and every single week. And that is one of the big problems that we're seeing with Raw. And we've been seeing a little bit more of it now on SmackDown. And I'm not a fan of that. I really do think that they need to switch it up. They need more faces. They need more challengers for Bianca. And even then, we can talk about the Bianca Bayley feud and spicing it up and all of that. But for now, I really just do think that we need more faces. So let's see what you guys are saying here. This one is from Aaron, who says, WWE has so many talented women and they show the same things on both shows. We have a comment from Kiernan who says, unfortunately, this is continuing. Just put the titles on Natalya and Tamina, then have them feud with the Riot Squad. Even that, it would be fresh. I would not mind seeing the titles on Tamina and Natty. Like, if they're going to do it, just do it now, because now people are starting to get tired of seeing this over and over. So if you're planning at some point to give it to them, I would just say do it now so that we can move on to something else. Like, we really, really need to move on to something else here. And we have another super chat. Thank you so much to Brandon Rosen. I really appreciate it. He says, I've given up on any tag team action from Raw or SmackDown, women or men. Thank goodness AEW and NXT take their tag team division seriously. When we come on here and we talk about AEW on Wednesdays, that is one of the things that we've talked about a lot, is the tag team division and the fact that there are so many options. In fact, there's too many options. NXT, there are a nice, good, decent amount of options there, obviously. And yeah, I just really do think that it's the same thing, because even for like the men's tag team division on SmackDown, like that's one of the things that, again, we've been seeing so much of the same thing with the Street Profits, Ray and Dom, obviously the Dirty Dogs. So it's kind of like, what else is there? They had Otis and Chad Gable. All right, cool, but there needs to be more. There needs to be more of a variety. So thank you so much to Brandon Rosen for sending this in. We have a comment from John Rosado who says, this feels like the start of a big run for Tamina. She's starting to connect with the crowd in a significant way. Yes, she is starting to connect with the crowd. And we saw that at WrestleMania. We saw that, she was getting some cheers. And to be honest, like, I was a little surprised by that. I was happy for her, but I was a little surprised by it. I really, really was. And Jake Larson says, yep, put Shayna back in singles action. That is the direction to go, but I'm almost afraid that it's not going to happen. I'm like wondering, I thought they were gonna, when they started putting them as a tag team, I thought it wasn't gonna last. I really was not expecting them to last as a tag team. I thought it was gonna be like a 1 month, top 3 months thing. They win the title and I'm thinking, all right, cool, they're gonna lose it right away. No, they kept it going. And there were a couple of weeks where, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed them as a tag team. I did. I thought they had some funny moments. But now I don't, there's nothing there for me. I feel like I've seen it all. I've seen it all with them. Maybe if they had different opponents and they weren't champions all the time, then maybe I'd feel a little bit differently. Okay, I'm going to go through the rest of your comments here. And let's see, this is a comment from A. Semper, who says, Bianca, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, they all see how WWE treats their veteran women. They'll be leaving soon to other ventures as soon as they get a chance. Sasha, for example, will be acting. Well, obviously right now it's definitely too soon to tell any of that because all these girls that you just mentioned here are still doing incredible stuff. Bianca just got started. Charlotte, she's doing incredible. She just came back. She's doing, she's picking right back up where she left from. Bayley, I feel, still has a lot to do if given the proper opportunity. Sasha Banks, obviously she just lost the title, but again, she can do something new, something different. We'll see what happens with her. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And let's see what else we have here. We have a comment from Pomi who says, Rhea Ripley has been the only woman called up in a long time in the past 6 months. We've seen releases of Kay, Royce, James, Vega, and Green. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like right now we aren't seeing a lot of new faces, a lot of fresh faces in the women's division on both brands, actually. So I really do hope we get to see that some more. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on from this. So after this, we did have a quick interview with Rey Mysterio and Dominic where they basically say they want to be the first father-son tag team champion. So that happens. But let's jump into the Aleister Black promo. So last week, Aleister Black came back and we were talking a lot about his promo, and you guys told me like things that you thought that it resembled, things that why you guys liked it and all of that. And this week we kind of continue it, and he basically comes out, says that people judge him, that they make assumptions about him. Then he reads chapter 2 of the book that he's been reading since last week. So last week chapter 1, this week chapter 2, and it's kind of about, he starts off talking about high school and obviously the popular kids and people going on with their lives, going to college, getting married, having a house and all of that. And he starts saying that they've built their life on a foundation of lies. And so he's kind of like this bitter, he's kind of bringing this bitter side to him. So then he starts saying that his father didn't teach him any of that, that instead his father taught him the truth. I find the father stuff very confusing. And then he says that he can give us, the people, the keys to escape, but that he won't. To be honest, this for me does not do anything for me. This doesn't do anything for me. This is just a bunch of words. I'm not necessarily completely crazy about it. I mean, he did the door thing for a long time and now he's doing the keys. I'm like, bro, what's going on here? The door, the keys, what's going on here? I don't get it. I know a lot of people did get it. A lot of people did like it. For me, it still just hasn't hit the mark yet. For me, I still don't really get this character. Dixon Cider might help me understand it a little bit more. Dixon Cider says Aleister is just a spooky hipster. Well, there you go. I understand the whole thing now. And Chris Cage 2X says that he tweeted his comment that wasn't read last week in regards to Aleister Black. Chris, send that in again, and I will try to read that now, actually. We have a comment from Kieran who says, is his father the Undertaker? The silhouette of the father definitely looks like the Undertaker. Dude, I don't even think I didn't pay close attention to the silhouette of the father whatsoever. I really, really did not. I did not. All right. And M. Darrett says SmackDown always has Aleister in the closet. He was too on Raw. He was behind that door telling people to come knock on his door for the longest time. The longest time. And Patrick notes Aleister Black sounding like a cult leader, Bray Wyatt's nonsense promos. Okay, I didn't understand that one completely. We have another super chat from Brandon who says Aleister Black's new gimmick is already feeling stale. Well, because it's not. I think if he didn't have all of those promos that he had on Raw, the ones about the door where he just said a bunch of stuff, but nobody really remembers any of the stuff he actually said. It was just a bunch of words. I feel like because now they're doing this, it's kind of like, oh, what if this is a different version of what they tried to do with him on Raw? So until we actually see, I don't know, for me, until I actually see some action out of this instead of just these promos, I'm going to feel like a lot more confident about the whole thing. I think right now, I feel like this is still too closely in line with what we saw on Raw, what we saw him do on Raw, To me, I get it. It's a different story, different words, somewhat of a different look. The editing is obviously different. There's a story and the graphics and all of that. But right now, to me, it still feels the same. Just a bunch of words. All right. And let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is a comment from Tamzid who says, Denise, do you think that Aleister Black will ever become world champion in WWE with his new unique character, or will Vince completely waste him like The Fiend? Well, look, I was never expecting to go all of these severals of months without seeing Aleister Black. So I think my prediction for what I expected Aleister Black to be on the roster hasn't necessarily panned out. At the moment, do I think he could someday be WWE champion? Do I think he has what it takes? Yes. Will it happen? I don't know anymore, because the route for Aleister Black has been so different from what I expected it to be that at this point, I really just do not know. And this is a comment from Dom G who says, at least it's something, ? Better than nothing. Dom G, I like you. You're thinking of the bright side, and I have to agree with that. You are right. Even though I don't get it and I'm not necessarily crazy about it, I do prefer this over not seeing him for months. Dom G also adds, hard to do a full character change when you look like you live the character. The whole, yeah. All right. And this is a super chat. Thank you so much to Christopher, who says, God, I hope it isn't 52 chapters. I thought about that too. I thought, oh my God, if they're doing this in chapters, we don't know how many chapters there are. They could literally pull a full Harry Potter series on us and just do like a shit ton of chapters. We don't know. They can keep this going. All right. In a couple months, I'm talking about like chapter 52, guys. I'm going to be out of things to say about these chapters. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. Maybe 13 tops. That seems like a decent number. No, that's too high even. I would stick with less than 5 chapters. Less than 5. And we got to move on. After 5, I'm done. I'm done after 5. All right, that's it. Here we go. Mark my words. On April 30th, 5 chapters only allowed for Aleister Black. After that, I'm going to complain. All right. Chris Cage 2X says that the comment that I missed last time was, is Aleister Black coming back with a Dungeons and Dragons gimmick? So I literally do not know anything about Dungeons and Dragons at all. So you're asking the wrong person. I don't know anything about this. This would be a question for Luke Owens or Adam, because I know that they like that stuff. I have no idea what even Dungeons and Dragons is. I think it's a board game. Oh man, I feel like people are going to hate me for that. Okay. And we have a comment from Patrick who notes, spoiler alert, Aleister Black is secretly Voldemort. Isn't that... Oh. Wait, is he from Lord of the Rings or, oh my gosh, no, Star Wars. No, not Star Wars. Guys, I don't know about this stuff. I'm out on all of this type of the nerd stuff. And yes, my phone was going off, guys, and I have turned that off. I don't know who is contacting me at this hour. And okay, let's see. Any other comments in regards to this? All right, cool. I think we're okay. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, thank you guys. Harry Potter. Guys, I'm sorry, do not hate me. I only saw Harry Potter one time. I was in 5th grade. That was plenty of years ago. And I don't even know what movie I saw. I just know it was Harry Potter. But I don't know anything about Harry Potter. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. All right. Man, I don't know anything. Oh, God. And all right, let's move on, guys. I just buried myself in a hole here. All right, after the Aleister Black promo, we had the Intercontinental Championship match, Apollo Crews versus Big E. And Big E, in order to win, had to get a pin or a submission. Look, given that we knew for a fact, well, okay, I didn't know for a fact, okay, but the finish to this match, I was not surprised whatsoever. The match itself was good. But here's the thing. I already did not have interest going into this match because I didn't care to see a rematch from what we've already seen at WrestleMania. I don't need to see it again, guys. I do not need to see it again. And so I knew for a fact that Big E wasn't going to win. And I knew Apollo had to retain. So I knew that it was going to end in some form of nonsense. And yeah, it did. So Big E dominated the first portion of this match. They worked a really steady pace, but I liked it because they both showed a lot of aggression, a lot of power. And what I liked about this is that they really are starting to find their rhythm with one another. And they work really well together. They have good matches. And here's the thing about Apollo Crews that I need to mention. One of the things that I've noticed about Apollo, obviously, he's doing this whole new persona. We all know this. But in-ring wise, he's looking like he's really starting to step outside the box a little bit. He's looking like he's willing to try a little bit more, do a little bit of different stuff inside the ring. And it's starting to show. And I like that. That was one of the things that I personally enjoyed and one of the things that really stood out to me in this match. Both guys had proper times to had their proper moments to shine throughout this match. But in the end, Big E hit the big ending and was about to get the pin. But instead, Commander Aziz got involved and pulled him out by his leg. And that was the end of that match. Afterwards, Kevin Owens came out and started punching Commander Aziz. And again, even though I did not like the finish, I liked the match. Everything leading up to that finish was perfectly fine. Sami Zayn then comes... So after Kevin Owens comes out and starts punching Commander Aziz, we then see Sami Zayn come out and do a super kick on Kevin Owens. And then Sami Zayn grabs the title and looks at it very fondly. So I think it's safe to say we might circle back to that because he's trying to convince Aziz, he's trying to convince Apollo, hey, I'm not interested. It's okay. It's all yours. We're cool. Don't worry. We're friends. He raises Apollo's arm up in the air and Aziz is like not buying it. So he hits him with the Nigerian nail, just like he did last week to Kevin Owens. And bam, that was that. I like the fact that they're continuing bringing in Kevin Owens into this, continuing to bring in Sami Zayn into this. I like this, but this still feels very like what we were already doing pre-WrestleMania, just a couple of tweaks there. We have a super chat. Thank you so much. This is a super chat from Anima Master. Thank you so much to Anima who says, what makes you matter? Lots of DQ finishes or lots of matches that end with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. You know what? It's neither of those two. You want to know what makes me matter? It's none of these two. It's actually seeing the same matches over and over or the variations of the exact same match. I don't like the DQ finishes. I'm not a fan of it. And the surprise roll-up isn't a surprise anymore whatsoever. But I think, and I might hate myself for this, I think I would take those two over having to see the same matches or variations of the same matches over and over again. And you want to know why? Because they could, let's say we're seeing two people have the same matches over and over again, right? They could have a great first match, a great second match, a great third match, but by the time you get to the seventh match, not only are you bored, but let's say they have a great seventh match. It doesn't matter anymore because you don't care anymore. You go into the match not caring anymore. So even if they have a bomb match and you've liked all of the stuff that they did before, at some point you just stop caring. So for me, I don't want to see DQ finishes, but if I had to choose, I'd probably go for the DQ finishes over seeing the same thing over and over. I don't know, guys. To each their own. Wrestling's own Would You Rather edition. Thank you so much to Anima Masters for sending in this super chat. I really, really thank you for this. And okay, let's go ahead and move on though from this. So after this, guys, we had, all right, here we go. We're actually time for the main event, everybody. All right, so this was something that none of us knew was going to happen in terms of last week when they made the announcement for this match and added this whole, if Daniel Bryan loses, he is banished, banned from SmackDown. The second that happened, we all knew, all right, we're no longer going to see Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. I don't think there was one person in here, and if you were that one person, I don't know. I need to get in your brain, because I don't think there was one person here who expected Daniel Bryan to actually win. I don't know. Maybe there were a couple of people, but personally, I think we just all knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. So ahead of this match, obviously this is a big deal. He may be banished from SmackDown. We don't know. We think he is, but we don't know. One of the things that I do like that they did throughout the entire show was include superstar predictions. I thought that having, different people come out basically saying what they predict was really cool. We've seen it before, and I like that they did that, because they should do that. It's a big deal. And then they gave this a lot of time. So they started doing like promo packages and the Paul Heyman interview like early, like maybe 6:20-ish, but by 6:27, and this is Pacific Standard Time, they were already doing intros. And so this definitely, they gave them a lot of time to go for this. So once I saw that they were actually giving them a good chunk of time, I thought, all right, this is going to be good. They're giving us it makes it feel more, like it means more. The fact that they gave it more time makes it feel like it means more, already on top of everything that we already knew going into the actual match. But we already talked about this, so I won't bore everybody with talking about it again. But for those of you who just tuned into the stream, Roman Reigns does have a brand new theme song. I'm a fan of it. And if you want to hear my thoughts, you can always rewind and listen to that in the beginning. But I liked it. Again, it doesn't have the big bang intro. It doesn't get you as pumped, but I like the fact that it brings a different vibe to Roman Reigns, and it's totally polar opposite of the Shield theme song. Polar opposite. They went a completely different direction, even a completely different direction from what I expected, but I'm a fan. I like it. All right, so this match started off hot. When we came back from the first commercial break, Daniel Bryan was the one getting the best of Roman Reigns, doing several kicks to Roman Reigns. He did multiple running double knees. That was good too. And then Roman started taking back control, and then we ended up jumping into another commercial break. Again, like I said, this was a long match here. When we come back, Daniel Bryan continues to target Roman Reigns' right arm, and that plays into the match later on. Daniel Bryan does a dive to the outside of the ring, but Roman catches him. Roman catches him and suplexes him. That was a really good spot. Roman goes for a spear, but ends up running into the barricade and breaking it. And at this point, we're at the 6:45-minute mark. I was keeping track of the times here. After this, we come back from commercial break again, and we see a diving headbutt from Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan does several stomps on Roman Reigns' face, puts him in a crossface. Reigns counters and hits him with a spear. That was another really good spot. Roman then gets the guillotine on Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan is able to slip out because Roman's arm is weak after he had been working it the entire match. And then Daniel Bryan gets him in another yes lock. After this, Roman gets him with several punches and lifts and power bombs him. And then he punches him again, power bombs him again. So he does the sequence twice. Then Roman does the guillotine choke one more time, but this time he utilizes it with the left arm, and that is how he eventually gets the win, because Daniel Bryan essentially fades away. And I was glad that the match ended this way, because I kind of had a feeling that it was going to end in some sort of shenanigan. I didn't know how it was going to end, but I really wasn't sure if we were going to get an actual clean finish. So I gotta say, not only did they deliver in terms of hyping this match up, in terms of promoting it throughout the entire show, the in-ring stuff, giving it the proper amount of time, making it exciting. It was a really solid, strong main event. Probably the strongest one that we've had for like a Raw or SmackDown show in quite some time. Actually, SmackDown has had a lot of really good main event matches, but I will definitely say that this one took the cake in terms of one of the best in a really long time. So after this, Daniel Bryan is banished from SmackDown. Cesaro tries to come out and help out Daniel Bryan, but Jay and Roman end up tying him up to the ropes, and Roman smashes Daniel Bryan's head with a chair. So what did you guys think of this main event? Did it deliver? Did it not deliver? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section. All right, so we have another super chat. Thank you, Brandon. Oh my God, you are seriously, I don't know, I think you were our guest of honor last week, but if you weren't our guest of honor last week, you are our guest of honor this week for all the super chats. Brandon says, still no Jimmy Uso. Thought he would figure into the main event somehow. When I tweeted out asking people for predictions on this match, several people commented, Jimmy Uso is going to be here. And I thought, no, he's not. He's not going to be here. It got to the point where I was going to put up a poll and ask if people expected Jimmy Uso to be here. But in my gut, in my instincts, they said no. They said no. Jimmy Uso is not going to come out today. I don't know why. I know why people expected him to come out, but I just had a good feeling that he wasn't going to come out. So I didn't even get excited or picture up the possibility of it happening. So I don't know when he's going to come back. I don't know. There have been several opportunities, several moments that if you were going to plug him in, you'd think they would have plugged him in by now, but I don't think so, guys. Now I really don't know when it's going to happen. We have a comment from Maths Debater who says, Reigns and Bryan could have had a great match with their eyes closed. They're just that good. Yeah, they probably could have. Joseph Boza asks, will fans continue to care with Roman still on top 242 days later? If Bryan couldn't do it, who could beat Roman and Vince would be okay with it? ? Roman has to be the teacher's pet. Look, this is a question that I get almost on all of the streams for SmackDown where it's like, who's going to beat Roman? Who's going to beat Roman? My answer always is there's nobody yet. Nobody right now that I would say I want this guy to beat Roman. Although I did want that for Daniel Bryan. So they could probably convince me down the line of somebody else. But I did want Daniel Bryan. For WrestleMania, you guys know I either wanted Roman Reigns to retain or I wanted Daniel Bryan to win. All right. So I was going to be happy if Daniel Bryan won. Now, your question, will the fans continue to care with Roman still on top in 242 days later? I'm going to say yes if they keep him going strong. If they keep him going strong and they give him a lot of hot challengers, I would say yes. If it starts to get a little stale, then obviously that's a no. But you guys know I'm a fan of long title reigns. I really, really am. I like that type of stuff. So personally, I would still want to see Roman Reigns as champion come next year's WrestleMania. I am totally and utterly cool with that unless it starts going down a rabbit hole. But for now, I still have faith in it. So far, there hasn't been anything where I'm not interested in what Roman Reigns is doing. So far, I have been very interested in what he's doing. So at the moment, I would say that I am still a fan of what they're doing with Roman Reigns. But again, to each their own. And this is a comment from M. Durrett who says, Roman kills everyone on SmackDown for months and then eventually at the end of the pay-per-view wins everything, goes black, and we hear TikTok. That would be interesting, but no, I don't see it right now at this moment. I don't see it right now. Cross would have to prove himself a lot more at the moment. Sean Harrington says that this match delivered a good TV match and we aren't and isn't surprised by the finish. Also says, but I think Cesaro doesn't get the title match at Backlash or expect Edge back next week, especially with Roman using the concerto. We still need to hear back from Edge there, so you probably have something there. Look, last week, the way things ended with Cesaro essentially looking like option B, even though I know that the match would be great and I'd be happy for Cesaro, they need to do a lot more to get me excited about seeing Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not buying it just yet. Right now, it kind of feels like, oh, well, we have faith in you. So here's a gold star. You might get this match with Roman. Now, I think they need to give him an opportunity to fight for it a little bit more. Convince me that I want to see it. I did want to see it, especially after WrestleMania, but then they didn't really give me a reason to continue wanting that. They made my interest fade away. So they need to bring it back. They need to bring my interest back on Cesaro for this. And we're getting several comments on all of this. And this is from Zachary Puentes, who says, Roman Reigns is unstoppable, and I knew Roman Reigns was going to win. I think we all knew that was definitely going to happen. Sean Harrington says, Reigns versus Rock for Mania is the only top match I care about seeing for Roman. I would also trade Cesaro to Raw and give him a run with the WWE title. I can see him beating Lashley over Roman Reigns. I do have to agree. I do think that I would definitely see that as a possibility more so than seeing him beat Roman Reigns if that were to be a thing there. And there was a comment that I wanted to read, but I think I lost it here. And okay, so I'm going to continue scrolling down, guys. Again, if there is a comment that you guys sent in and it's super brilliant and you're like upset because I haven't read it, you can always send it in a super chat and I will definitely see it because those come out in pretty, pretty colors. And I definitely see all of that. All right, guys, I think I got for the most part all of your comments in regards to this. All right, we have a comment from Aaron who says, okay, here we go. Aaron says, Big E should be the guy to dethrone Roman with the right building, if not someone from NXT. I thought it was going to be Big E for a while, but right now, I don't think I've necessarily been convinced to see Big E dethrone Roman Reigns. They would have to do a lot. They would have to build him up a lot more. This one is from Mavs Debater, who says, Roman is the biggest star in wrestling. No one should beat him for another year. Again, that's what I think too. I think right now that he should have a long title reign. I'm completely there for that. Brandon says, open the forbidden door and let Walter beat Roman. I don't think they'd do it. It'd be a freaking awesome match and a shocking moment, but I do not think that they would do it whatsoever. Pomi Wrestling says, assuming we get Cesaro versus Roman at Backlash, who should challenge Roman at the next pay-per-view and at SummerSlam? Dude, who is there right now? Who is there? I mean, if they were to do Roman Seth Rollins, they would have to have Seth Rollins as a face. They already did Kevin Owens too much. Who else is there, guys? Send me some thoughts here. Send me some thoughts. Send me some names here because at the moment, I'm drawing a blank. And Zachary Puente says, do you think Roman Reigns will face Seth Rollins? If the timing is right, they can definitely do it. And people are bringing up Big E, Brock Lesnar. Again, Big E could definitely be a great one, but I do not think that he would beat him. Brock is obviously one that, yeah, would be fantastic, but I'm thinking more in terms of like a smaller name. I'm not thinking about Brock right now. And I think for the most part, everybody's basically saying Brock Lesnar. Okay, here we go. We have some selections here. This one is from Pomi, who says Nakamura, Rollins, maybe Black. Aleister Black would be good, and they would turn his time in WWE around if they gave him a good solid run with Roman Reigns. Like if they maybe not beat Roman Reigns, but at least give him a good solid opportunity so that the fans could see him as something more than just a guy that's asking people to knock on his door. I would love to see Aleister Black versus Roman Reigns. Are you kidding? I would love that. And okay, I'm trying to see if there's any other comments. This is Cesaro. Someone says King Corbin. Oh, man. I don't know about that one there. I do not know about that one. Patrick says there's not enough strong baby faces that seem like they would actually beat Roman. Thank you. That's pretty much what I wanted to get at too. There really isn't. The person that was Daniel Bryan. Kevin Owens is another big baby face, so he's somebody too, but they've already been there, done that, exhausted that. There really isn't anybody else. They definitely need to build up way more people. Aaron says, unpopular opinion, give Chad Gable a go. Look, I wouldn't say it's an unpopular opinion. I just think it's an opinion that's never going to happen. I love Chad Gable, but we all know what, based on what we've seen, I don't think it's going to happen based on what we've seen. Although Chad Gable would be bloody awesome as well. Alrighty, guys. That is pretty much our show here. We kind of chatted a lot, and I appreciate that. I love chatting with you guys on here. Everybody who tunes into the stream makes this show so much more fun. And to the audio listeners, I hope you guys enjoy the conversation, not just from me, but from the opinions of the live viewers as well. It's my favorite thing to do because it's like you guys are my co-hosts here, guys. You guys are my co-hosts, sharing opinions back and forth, and we get a good general feel for what the wrestling community, what the fans are thinking of the product or would like to see. So I really, really love this back and forth, which is why I decided to do this very interactive type of podcast. But guys, for those of you who do not know, and I know I say this every week, but I gotta do the promotions. Here we go. I do 3 shows a week on this channel. Also, we just hit 73,000 subscribers. We are en route to 100K, and trust me, we can get there. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Even if you're listening on the audio version of this, head over to YouTube. It's super easy. Just type in F4W online, and bam, the channel will pop up. Subscribe. There's so much content on here, so much. And then myself, I do 3 shows a week. I talk about NXT on Tuesdays, and hopefully Daniel Bryan goes to NXT so that I can talk about Daniel Bryan on NXT. But we don't know if that's going to happen. Also, Wednesdays, AEW Dynamite. Wednesdays are my most popular shows. That is the show that gets the most views and is just so much fun. So definitely check that one out as well. And then SmackDown Fridays. Fridays is our chill day, everybody. This is the end of the week. Unless there's a pay-per-view, it's the ends of the week. So we kind of get to relax a little bit, enjoy some wrestling, and just have a good conversation. I'm going to read the last super chat of the show, and here we go. The last super chat says, Denise, end the stream with the Sammy dance. The Sammy dance went kind of not viral, but it got some pretty good hits on social media. But here we go. Guys, I can't do the Sammy dance when I'm sitting down. It sucks. I need to do one where I'm on a video on Twitter or something, where I'm standing up, sitting on a chair. It doesn't look that great, but thank you so much to Colette Adam, either way, for sending in this super chat. I appreciate it. Guys, please make sure to continue helping me spread the word about this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. Leave a nice comment. Maybe more people will check out the show if you guys leave a nice comment. Other than that, enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you on Tuesday for NXT. Bye, everyone. Take care.